Hello, this is Todd Luck, and this is a review of Conan, Battle for the Serpent Crown number 3. So, since none of the Conan stuff I actually follow is coming out yet, I decided to go ahead and pick up another issue of Battle for the Serpent Crown. I missed the second issue. I couldn't find it at my comic shop. They sold out. But I don't feel like I missed a whole lot, that a whole lot happened. So here's the third issue. It's got Conan versus Black Panther on the cover. It's kind of a simple rendering, though there is some, foliage that's drawn around them. It's still a little bit more than a convention sketch. It's still nicely rendered for what it is, even though it's just a very simple image of just, these two going at it. The kind of thing I would probably have an issue with is the coloring that we decided to put shade over Conan and the foliage. I mean, something like this probably ought to be bright and pop. I'm just thinking that if I'm looking at this from a distance, it basically looks like a gray and black blob. I just don't know if you could even make it out because it's just all these gray tones. It just seems like, it should be colored in a way that would be more attractive and brighter. And also, I'm a little curious, why in the world do we want to cover up the title? We're only 3 issues in, and for an uninitiated reader, all they can see is Conan, Battle for the Crown. I don't know why you'd want to make it your title unreadable only 3 issues in. But anyway, and so Conan fights Black Panther in this issue. It's not a particularly exciting idea for me, but I can see how it could be a good comic. I mean, Wakanda is this very interesting culture that's very visually interesting. Lots of fantastic sci-fi elements in buildings and all that stuff. A very interesting place to set a story. So I could imagine, like, maybe Conan has to sneak into the royal palace and steal something, or steal something from an event that Black Panther's at, and they go at it in this like really cool looking background in Wakanda. None of that happens. So instead, Conan spends more than half the issue walking through the jungle and walking through a cave. It is well rendered. Luke Ross is still doing the art. The artwork is great. My issue is the story and the pacing. Again, it is a half an issue of Conan walking in a jungle and in a cave. It's not that interesting. There is just not that much to talk about. It is a completely plot-driven story. The exposition is not that interesting. And so when we do finally get to Black Panther, it's in the cave, and we waste most of a page with him just saying his name. And then they go at it for a whole 2 pages with a panel on a 3rd page. So that's it, just a little over 2 pages of fight with Black Panther. And the fight isn't even that great. So there is a sequence in here where, for whatever reason, we just start throwing in random panels that don't have anything to do with each other. So here is Conan slashing at Black Panther. He's jumping over this slash. And then the very next panel, he has Black Panther down on his hands and knees and is stabbing him with his sword. How did we get from that panel where Black Panther's jumping over his sword to this? I'm not sure. And then somehow Black Panther gets up and is now standing and Conan is hitting him. How did we get from this to that? I don't know. Now, after that, we do start to actually do panel by panel storytelling, but like, why would we have 3 panels just thrown in the middle of a fight that don't make any sense with each other? They're all well rendered. Again, Luke Ross knocks it out of the ballpark on the rendering. It's just the story here is not that good. And then this rich guy shows up to steal the thing that Conan was trying to get and leaves, and we go back into the exposition, which again just seems a little overly long. The thing is, I'm also a little fuzzy about why Black Panther and Conan needed to fight in here. So Black Panther explains his motivations as he's attacking Conan. He explains all of it while jumping. Must have been the longest jump in the history of mankind to deliver all this dialogue. I think it probably would have made more sense for him, for instance, to have explained it in the giant panel where there was room for it before attacking Conan. And also, I'm a little fuzzy. Why does he need to attack first? He's a hero and he's supposed to be a noble guy. So why is he attacking an unarmed woman and a guy with a sword who just wandered into Wakanda? I mean, this guy's supposed to be a king. Doesn't he have other things to do? His security people spotted him. His security people have guns. This is the only job that they have. Why couldn't he have just let the security guys handle it? Like, he just has to drop everything he's doing as the ruler of Wakanda and see what the shirtless guy who wandered into his country is doing? Why? And so the overall story of the miniseries is basically a series of fetch quests, which is going to eventually lead to the Serpent Crown, which is this powerful artifact. But they haven't really defined it as far as that miniseries goes, but I'm assuming they'll say something maybe next issue. I mean, it might be an interesting plot for a video game, but for a comic book, it's pretty bland for something that's completely plot-driven. Especially if you're not going to have a lot of action. Because without action, basically all you have is exposition, quips between the characters, which are sometimes funny, sometimes like, and then big panels to show off the artwork, which are nice looking. They are great. Luke Ross does a great job rendering this. If artwork is all you need for $4 an issue, then this is a comic worth picking up. But if you need a story too, I just can't recommend it. And next issue, and this is actually what I would consider a nice cover. I mean, I actually think this is a pretty attractive image, but he's fighting Namor. And how would that work? Namor has powers. Namor can go up against some of the most powerful guys in the Marvel Universe. Conan's just a dude. I don't know. I mean, sometimes that can be interesting. Sometimes a story where a normal dude has to survive an encounter with a very powerful hero can be interesting. If written logically, I kind of doubt it is, but I'll check it out. We'll see. You never know. And so overall, I can't really recommend the comic as a whole. The story didn't click with me, but the artwork is good. So if you're just looking for a well-rendered Conan comic, maybe this will do it for you. And so that's it. Like and subscribe for more videos. And until next time, come on, Black Panther. Let your security guards do their job, man. See ya.